So believe it or not, there used to be a time where you couldn't just turn on your mobile device, computer, PlayStation, or any other type of tech that you have and just load up a movie. You used to actually have to get out of your house, go to this place called a video store. Now, I know that some of you guys in some of the more rural areas of the Midwest and a couple of other niche areas still have video rental stores, but mainly the video rental era is long gone. The reason I'm bringing all this stuff up here is I want to talk to you about a particular period of time when a particular type of film came to prominence. It was a very short period of time that these type of films came into like being and were popular, and these were known as S.O.V, or shot on video movies. Now pretty much what that means is that people were in their backyards, or they were at their houses, or at their local, anywhere that they could get to with their camcorders that they had bought at Sears, and were getting with their buddies and making these low budget horror films that were then getting distributed to video stores all across the country. And the reason that this happened was because at the time, video stores were getting maybe one to three horror films a month during this period, and this period went from 1986 to about 1989, and ma and pa shops they couldn't get access to major movie studios films like big corporations like Blockbuster Video and what else was around in the 80s? Probably Hollywood Video and some other names like that, so ma and pa's would do anything they can to get their hands on titles to fill their shelves because they just needed them. Horror movies, super popular on the video rental market. These local producers would be driving around with copies of their film, trying to get them on the shelves, and mom and pop markets were just buying them up. So the key to success in these situations was have an amazing box cover, because they didn't have trailers and previews like you can go do now, and they weren't showing that kind of stuff on TV. No way. And there was magazines and stuff that were promoting the stuff, but like it wasn't as mainstream as you could like see trailers. Like you go to YouTube and see the trailer for the worst horror movie ever now, as in the 1980s that was not possible. So a flashy box, big giant casing, oh man, hooked. So based on that, I want to talk to you about my particular favorite set of films from the shot on video era, which is Video Violence and Video Violence 2. These were released by Camp Motion Pictures in 1987 and 1988 consecutively. They were both directed by Larry P. Cohen. The first one is Video Violence, and I'm going to go ahead and cut to the trailer, and we'll be back.
What is this time, Mr. Emery? Another act of video violence?
This morning we found a tape in our Dropbox. It was a tape of a murder, shot on video.
This town has a strange preoccupation with violence. But the only thing we seem to rent are gory horror movies.
The big thing to do on Saturday night is sit in front of the tube and watch people getting killed.
You lay off off them monster movies for a while. You stick with the kiddie stuff.
Oh man, what did you guys think about that? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Budget $10, probably 3 or 4 VHS cassette tapes used, but a lot of care and effort went into the making of Video Violence 1, released in 1987, Camp Motion Pictures, Larry P. Cohen. I was watching the documentary on the DVD that I have that was released by Camp that has both of them combined, and that's really the only way that you can get them. Camp, if you're watching this, please give me a Blu-ray copy. He says that the whole reason that they created Video Violence was that he was working at a video store and a lady had come in asking about a movie, a horror movie in particular, and got to the register and asked if there was nudity in the film, which he said no, he didn't believe so, and you know, it's got all the, he mentions that it has all the gore and stuff in it, but she's like, oh, it's okay, as long as it doesn't have nudity, I'll let my kids rent it, which I found quite intriguing, because when I was a child, my parents had the same mentality when it came to letting me rent horror films. They didn't really want me to see the nudity and the sexualization, but they had no problem with watching me get people's heads cut off or disemboweled or zombies chewing on intestines. So I found that kind of poignant, and like it just rung a bell with me, like, wow, this probably happened everywhere with lots of people just like me. So I found that to be quite interesting. So a brief little synopsis from me about Video Violence is guy moves to a small little town, I think it's called Frenchtown, and he ends up taking over the local video store there, and he's got a little assistant there, and they're renting out. Everybody in this little town of like 300 people has VCRs, and he just finds this absolutely astounding. Well, anyway, the local patrons come in, but they only rent slasher movies and XXX movies. So he decides they don't really think anything of it. Anyway, they get a return, and it happens not to be the tape that was rented out to them. Well, the guy's little assistant decides that he wants to get a peek at the tape, and the owner, who's like the main character, decides, no, I don't want to see this. But after some prodding, the assistant eventually gets him to put the tape on. Turns out to be what looks to be a snuff tape of the town's local postmaster that is supposedly on vacation in Florida. Anyways, intrigue ensues. The owner of the video store decides to go investigating into what happened to the postmaster. He starts getting resistance, and things take a turn for the worse when you find out that the whole town is in this big conspiracy to make snuff films and distribute them amongst each other. So, yeah, wow, what a concept. First of all, like, have you ever seen a movie with that kind of concept? I mean, I've seen 10,000 Maniacs and the remake of 2001 Maniacs. It's not 10,000, my bad, guys. But I found this to be a very unique premise, and the fact that they shot this with a camcorder, like my dad used to have that he shot our Christmases on and vacations, just blew my mind. Special effects made in somebody's garage with a budget of maybe $500, and like stuff that I could make myself, and like that it didn't look Hollywood effective, but holy crap, And after some investigating, the video store owner and his wife, who's the only person that he has as an ally since his store clerk partner got massacred, realize that the whole town is against them. They just try to get out of there, but of course that's not going to happen. The town sets an elaborate plan to capture the both of them, and then they get massacred and made into a video for video violence. Somebody takes over the video store. Snuff films keep getting pumped in and out. They kind of tease video violence too, which is a thing that we'll talk about here in a little bit. Video Violence 1 was something that I originally didn't get to see when I was young. I had seen Video Violence 2 because they had it at my Blockbuster, but they did not have Video Violence 1. So I was an adult when I finally got to see Video Violence. So I didn't know what to expect. I was hoping it was going to be like Video Violence 2, and surprisingly it's not, but it's very good. Fast-paced, which I really, really like, and I can't say enough about. Crazy kills. The music, oh my gosh, I can't say enough about the music in this movie. And it's used at the most inappropriate times, like, little spoiler, when the assistant store clerk is getting killed at the video store, there's this song that plays, that also plays in other spots that are weird throughout the movie, that is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's epic. You need to check it out. The gore is on point. It really sets the tone when it starts out with a lady going to buy something and then getting beat down with a baseball bat. Boobs. Yes, there's boobs. For everybody who likes boobs. Don't show this to your kids if you don't want to show them the nudity. I wouldn't show it to mine. Video Violence was amazing after I had gone back and seen it, and I was happy that it was different, and I also like how the people from the town came into Video Violence 2 and were sending in the videos to Howard and Eli, and how it was the same actor, so the continuation between Video Violence and Video Violence 2. Really love that. I'm a big fan of continuity. I'm a big fan of Easter eggs like that for people that stay loyal to brands. Just a fantastic film. Anyways, moving on. Alright, so let's get to my personal favorite, Video Violence 2. Now, Video Violence 2 takes all of the wackiness of that town that was massacring transients and people that didn't want to stay in the town, and the aspect of filming their own snuff films, and amplifies it times 10, and then takes it in this other crazy direction. So Howard and Eli are continuing on with their madness, and now they're just like gaining in strength here, and they've managed to meet up with some friends or something, so they're now able to send a pirate signal and break up the broadcast of local TV stations across the United States, supposedly, and broadcast their own variety snuff show called The Howard and Eli Show. It's kind of like America's Funniest Home Videos meets Snuff. I know, it sounds pretty ridiculous, but without further ado, here's the trailer.
We got a great show for you tonight. All right. Put it up to 4. I give it 1 thumb up. Come on, baby.
That poor girl.
Remember, this is the movies. A little tap will do ya. ya. Now it's time for another video.
They are fantastic.
Boy, we're having some fun tonight.
This is the best thing that appeared on cable since Fraggle Rock.
I know what you're thinking. That movie looks like shit. Well, I'm here to tell you, it is shit. But shit of the very good kind. This movie does not take itself seriously at all, and you can tell that the actors that were involved and everybody that was in this really had a love for making low-budget horror and knew kind of like what they were doing when they made this film, because like the dialogue is very witty, the gore is on point, it's not very, the movie's not slow-paced, and the segments all hit for one reason or another. And you get all kinds of stuff here. You get like sorority girls killing a pizza guy. You get a crazy little Christmas toy chud monster thingy that eats a little kid and his neck's all going. I freaking love it. Like, you get a guy that owns a restaurant, and like he's got people there that came to eat, and he captures them and turns them into the food. And this is just a couple of the things that you can find in this film. I'm not going to tell you everything, because honestly you need to see this one. Especially if you're only going to pick one to see, this is the one to see. This is also the one that I saw first, because my local video store actually didn't have Video Violence 1. They only had Video Violence 2, and I didn't see Video Violence 1 until I was way older. Thanks to that Camp DVD I got. Once again, Camp Blu-ray. Jimmy P wants one. Thank you. Back to business. The Howard and Eli show does it for me on so many levels. They got their own little piano guy there, kind of like David Letterman had his little guy, and you know, any other talk show host has their band going on, and he's just tearing it. His name's Gordon, and he's in this like 50s best way to describe it, like a tuxedo with a terrible cummerbund, tells really terrible jokes. Howard and Eli are on point again. They lure this actress saying that there's a job for a movie, and they end up tying her up and torture her on film and all that good stuff. And there's just mayhem. And some of the effects in this one just blow my mind. On the documentary for the DVD, Larry Cohen keeps joking that the budget was $28. I'm not sure how much that's exactly true, but I could see $28 being the correct budget. Heads exploding though, holy crap. People's hands getting sawed. There's so much gore here, and like blood. And it's so like choppy and broken up into segments, but not like an anthology film, that I think people that have short attention spans would actually still enjoy this, because it just flows so fast and the segments are so good, and like I said, dialogue's witty, writing's smart. Nothing overstays its welcome, because it's just such a variety of craziness with Howard and Eli's show tying all the parts together. Frickin' fantastic film. If you love B-grade horror, shot on video, you need something to satisfy you that's a pretty quick watch. I highly recommend Video Violence 2. It was released in 1988, Camp Video, Larry P. Cohen. Check it out. Thanks for watching my reviews of this video. If you like this, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notifications button, and as always, stay ghoulish.